You're watching Good Boy Feast. You're watching Good Boy Feast. Fighting just to save our lives. Got you laughing every night.
Welcome back, everybody.
Well, welcome back. I should ask, but the answer is probably no, just judging by where you were at before with it. Did you watch the premiere?
Oh, was that tonight?
It was last night.
Oh, no. Where was I at last night?
I don't know.
You just said where I was
You were at the pornography store.
Old porn store.
You've seen that Simpsons, right? Where Homer's on trial, and they're like, Mr. Simpson, where were you on the night of this alleged attack or whatever? And he's like, his mind is going, don't say bar, don't say bar. I was at the pornography store. So, not that you'll like this one won't give anything away because it's all like what the intro to the season like shows you is going to happen. But I'm going to take credit for it because we've talked about it before. I'm going to pretend that the Survivor people were watching our video and we're like, that's a good fucking idea. Do you know it's called Edge of Extinction? We talked about that the other day. You know what I'm talking about, Survivor, right?
Yeah. I know.
Oh, the concept is they vote somebody out, but they're not out of the game yet. You don't know how that quite works, but they get to make a choice on if they want to stay in the game and do something or other, or if they're like done with the game. But the people who are playing don't know that. This choice does not get offered to them until after they're voted out and think they're out, and everybody who voted them out thinks that they're voted out. Which I said before, it would be amazing if they had one of those like Exile Islands or those comeback games where the people didn't know.
Yeah. We've definitely talked about this. This is totally our idea, and I hope that we get to be on the show since we had the idea and they took it.
Yeah, either put us on the show or royalties. One of the show. Like I'll take either one. Probably make more than $1 million in royalties, right?
I mean, yeah. I would stipulate to a condition where I got to play the show, and if I won, all the money went to charity.
That'd be pretty cool. Like you just literally say that you're playing. You know, that would make for an interesting audition tape. To straight up say, I want to play, and I'm saying in my audition tape, if I win, the money, all $1 million goes to charity.
Yeah, I just want to play the damn game, man. I don't even care about the money. I mean, I would love $1 million. I'm not saying I wouldn't love $1 million, but I would rather play the game than never to get a chance. Yeah.
So I agree with you on something like Survivor, where like I said before when we talked about Alone. I know a lot of those people who are out there for the $500,000, and you know a lot of people are claiming that they're out there to be there with nature and all that stuff. I don't believe that garbage for a second.
Yeah, no.
For Survivor,
you
however,
went out there for the money to begin with,
right? For Survivor, I think it's such a different game that has captured so many people. I think there's a lot of people in the world who want to just play the game. They don't care about winning; they just want to play the game.
Yeah, I think you're right. Yeah.
It's like a staple, American staple.
They should do a season where all the money goes to charity.
Celebrities or celebrities.
No, not even celebrities. Fuck that. Fuck these celebrities. But yeah, I mean,
that's true. You give us a chance. Like normal people who don't want the money or are playing for a charity.
Yeah,
literally, you're playing for it. Like you're out there for Extra Life.
Yeah,
and
I would totally do a Survivor for Extra Life.
That would be really interesting. I wonder. Man, you should make an audition tape. I'm telling you, I would.
I think those audition tapes get sent directly to a trash can. I'm not convinced that half of them are even seen. So
I honestly, you got to wonder how many auditions they get because, I don't think that Mitch Hedberg, you know the comedian Mitch Hedberg?
Yes.
God rest his soul. He had a bit before where he was talking about back in the day of the real world, road rules, all that stuff. And he said, this season of Real World, there was 40,000 applications. He's like, how crazy is it that there was such an even number of applications? The complete misdirection of what the joke is. Yeah. But he was probably accurate on that statistic of how many roundabout applications that they got. you imagine 40,000 audition tapes?
Right, exactly. So I talked to
There's
Chad
no way
about
somebody
his
gets to go
Survivor experience, by the way.
Did he
And
give you more info, or is it still
no, yeah. I got the info. I got all the datas. So all they were doing at this, and he says, like Chad was talking about how, because he used to work for, damn, I knew the guy's name right before when I started talking.
He worked for the twit dude, right?
Yeah. No. Before that, he worked for a famous
the comedian guy.
Magician.
Oh yeah, he had like mannequins or something.
Brushwood is his name. Not mannequins. I don't think so. Brushwood. Brian Brushwood, I think is his name.
Okay, I thought he had mannequin props or something that he was talking about taking through security, but maybe I'm mixing it up.
Maybe I don't know. I mean, I do remember him going to like India, and there was something.
Else.
There was some kind of props he had to bring to somewhere. I do remember that. But
anyways, go on.
So yeah, Chad was saying that he got there, and whenever he's done things like this with Brushwood before, like there was producers at the place, and like you would actually see a producer or direct, like there was people that were higher up that were at the place. But for the Survivor thing, it was at a Men's Warehouse in the changing stalls.
How long was the line?
Do what?
How long was the line?
He said the line was very long, and there was a lot of people in line when he got there. He got there pretty early. There were, he said he noticed early on people coming out and looking disappointed. So he was already like, what's going on here? So finally someone comes out and someone pulls him over and is like, so what's going on inside there? Tell us about it. And they had set up cameras in all the changing stalls, and they were going in and letting you record a 1-take, 2-minute video that was your intro, and they were going to send it.
So you literally went to make an audition tape.
Yeah, you went to make the same audition tape you could make at home.
Wow. Why was it so hush-hush about it at first?
I couldn't catch him to get a response. It wasn't really hush-hush.
I thought he told you it was hush-hush.
No, I think I had said at one point that if he was on, he couldn't tell us that sort of thing. That's like all I'd ever said.
Oh, because I was under the impression, I was like, maybe he got to the next round of interviews or whatever, and I was like kind of excited. And jealous, like you said, but excited at the same time, So really, yeah, it was.
He didn't even stay in line. He left.
Oh, he didn't even make his audition.
He decided basically, if I'm going to do this, I could go home and edit a video that's much better.
That's better than
yeah.
So I will say, according to the Survivor website, they do say that you should do as many types of auditions as possible. They suggest you send in a videotape and go to all the live ones that you possibly can.
That's it.
But I mean, maybe it's just because maybe they get looked at by different groups of people.
Probably,
and you have a better. Chance
it's
that way.
Like a lottery. The more tickets you buy, the better chance you have to win, sort of thing, right?
Well, and I also do know that they used to talk about. I think it was American Idol. I used to read about because you see the auditions for American Idol as like the beginning of the season or whatever. And if you really read up on that, really what it is there's only a handful of people. Or of times that you go to these live castings that the people are actually there. So pretty much, if you go and it's not sitting in front of, I don't know who's on it anymore, but back in the day, like Simon Cowell and all, you're not getting on the show based on that. However, you might get told, we like you, come back, and they'll set up a different day for you with like the producers. But that most of the time, the main people aren't even there because they're only there small time frames. Yeah. So I would think it was more than just like, I didn't think an open casting call would literally be a video camera in a dressing room. Or what if Chad got the ultimate FU and Jeff Probst was in the dressing room and that guy was like,
based on what he said,
this will make my chances get better. He'll be like, no, sorry, man, there's a camera set up in there. You might as well go home.
I mean, based on the way he was talking about everyone coming out with like the little goodie bags and stuff, and them all looking very dejected, it sounds like he probably read the atmosphere right, but yeah, that would be hilarious if everyone you can imagine was there and Chad just got trolled.
It was pretty much like, we are doing a Southern Texas. I think it wasn't that open casting call somewhere like Southern Texas or something like that. Like, we're doing a Southern Texas only Survivor, and you have to come to this casting call to get on it. So anybody who came, you're in the running.
So they weren't in Antarctica then in episode 1, right?
No, they're not in Antarctica. I'm pretty sure they're on the same old standard island. But
yeah, I think it's time for a damn change of scenery. To be honest, I think that's some.
I agree. Well, and that means theoretically, correct me if I'm wrong. When you they taped 2 seasons kind of together or back to back, right? And at the finale of one, isn't everybody leaving for the next taping, like at the end of the finale?
Sometimes, but they haven't said that
in a while.
Yeah, because I remember there was one season where while they were showing the finale, one of the people was already back out there or something like that. I don't know. Because
I'm trying to figure out, like, if there is this Antarctica season, has it started taping yet, or is it going to start taping after this live finale?
Right.
Current season is out there. Like, do I have a chance to get on Antarctica still? Not really. More of my question. I would guess that I would have a chance at something that quickly if I had a chance at all. But you never know. Maybe they have last minute like fill-ins of.
I've put a bed down here, and there's monsters nearby.
Is there one or two?
There's one up there where you're at. It's been up there for a while. I'm putting.
Yeah, I saw it for the first time. I'm in it. We'll see how long I can stay in this thing.
I'm in down here too. We did it.
Zombie coming right after me too. Yeah, I wish I understood. Oh, so go on. You were talking about the Brian Brushwood thing. I mean, just that there was always producers and stuff.
Well, yeah,
there.
That's basically what he was saying. The feeling of the Survivor thing wasn't anything like whenever, like I think it was America's Got Talent that Brian had got on. And Chad was basically saying, that he had gone to these types of things, and the ones that are legit have a different feeling than what this one did. And so he, from very on, Chad was like, something's not right here. This isn't going anywhere.
At a Men's Warehouse, that's pretty.
Yeah.
I think I would be, because I would go to an open casting call expecting to be asked questions.
Yeah, no, there was none of that. It was just a record your talking to this camera for 2 minutes. Go. One take. If you're like, I messed up, too bad.
I mean, that.
I think basically what Chad said was his feeling was the local station put the whole thing on, sort of thing. They were like, let's help some people.
It wasn't even a real Survivor open casting.
Well, I mean, kind of not. Like they're submitting the videos through the same method that you would submit them through.
If you want to fly to Florida, there's one in Florida.
Is there?
Yeah, there's one in Florida on April 28th.
Man, I was hoping you were going to say March 19th. And I was like, you know what, Jeff? I'm going to be in Florida on March 19th.
That would be hilarious. You're there for the extra life stuff and you're not even around because you're just at this open casting call all day.
I mean, that'd be the perfect thing. Be like, I'm here in Florida for a charity. And I'll tell you what, I'll make a deal with you guys. You get me on the show.
I mean, yeah, that's... I really think that you should go for putting a videotape together like that.
I'm still not convinced anyone ever sees these things.
I mean, I agree with you, but what other avenue do you have to get in besides us talking about it enough, especially now that we're on a podcast as well? Maybe enough people will hear it and they'll get us to the right people there. Oh, by the way, there is now, and this kind of pisses me off, there is now a way to what's the apply button? I'm going CBS Survivor. Apply now. There is eligibility, superfan. Oh, they changed this thing. To apply for Survivors 39 and 40. Oh no, this is the same one. Is it view eligibility? Is it hitting the apply now button? Hold on. There was something I came across the other day, and I can't seem to either get to it. I don't know if the page isn't loading. Oh, so now they have a back and forth option. There's here we go. It doesn't tell you it anymore, but it tells you as you pick your country because now you can be from Canada and apply.
Interesting.
And it says for Canadian applicants, your audition video you have to put it up unlisted on YouTube.
What?
Let me do that as an American.
That's kind of wild. Why can't we do that?
I don't know. I can get so much better of a quality video up unlisted on YouTube than I can for that stupid 30 meg limit they have or whatever. But who knows? Maybe I haven't gone through this application in like a couple of years. But maybe they've
changed. Maybe they're using like Amazon servers now. Where you
Amazon Web Services stuff. God, I'm gonna actually look right here in a minute because that was always a point where I think that even if I made the best video ever, that I would think that. And you can't even get to I can't even get to the next page of the application because you have to fill out 4 pages of stuff, and you can't go to next without filling out the required fields on it. So I can't just like blow through and try to look at the video requirements without.
Last time I auditioned, I had to send a VHS.
You said a VHS.
Yeah,
tape,
that's how
right?
long it's been since I tried. So I don't know. I guess I just kind of gave up on the dream. I was like, this is never happening.
I'm more worried that I think the dream's going to give on us no matter what, because what do you think? Jeff Probst can't do this for more than another.
Jeff's got at least 10 more years in him. We got at least. So? I feel like it.
He's done 20 years.
Yeah,
20 years already.
He could definitely do 10 more. Jeff's fine. He is looking a little old though. I will admit, in David vs. Goliath, there was a few times I looked at Jeff and thought, damn, Jeff, you getting up there a little bit. But, I mean, Jeff doesn't have to do anything. He just hangs out.
I mean, that's true. At the beginning, but yeah, does his family hate the fact that he's away for all this time?
Does Jeff have family?
I don't know.
I feel like his family is Survivor at this point. I don't feel like he's allowed.
The Survivor. He's like Bob Saget. He just does family shows, right?
I mean, yeah, like he's not allowed. I mean, I feel like he's like Secret Service or CIA or whatever those type of jobs where you're not supposed to have family. Like he's like basically like a spy. He's not allowed to have family because he's made a commitment to do Survivor for his life. That's all he's allowed to do.
I guess it's possible. But at the beginning, also in episode 1 of this season, at the very beginning, they very traditional, 2 minutes, grab everything you can off the boat, go. And it was really funny because he was like swinging from ropes to get like over people and see what everybody was doing. And I was like, damn, he's in a little bit better shape than I realized that he still was. But I still don't think that he's, and I think that they should get a replacement person.
I don't.
And Jonathan from the Australia, I think, is
here with this Jonathan fucking side story.
But yeah, he's going to be hard to replace. But do you just cancel the show when he's gone?
Yeah.
Is it just done? I don't believe. I don't believe you at all.
I think you do. I don't think
when Johnny Carson left, did they just cancel that show?
Johnny Carson.
Exactly. They replaced him with somebody else. Who did it? Was it? I don't know who.
Do you know who Johnny Carson is?
David Letterman? Yeah, David Letterman took over for him.
Wait, do I know who Johnny Carson is? Oh yeah, okay, Johnny. Okay, I was thinking of who's that man? That singing man with the leather jacket, and he's dead as hell now. He was a Carson.
Gene Simmons?
No,
I don't have it.
God, he was a Carson. They
Carson
did a movie about him. Joaquin Phoenix played him.
Oh, Joaquin Carson.
You're worthless.
Oh, Johnny Cash?
Johnny Cash! That's who I was thinking of. He ain't a Carson.
I was like, Carson.
Yeah, whatever you were like with Johnny Cash. Whenever you said Johnny Carson, I thought all I could think of was Johnny Cash. And I was like, when he died, yeah, the fucking music was dead. He's done.
Yeah. But they replaced it with David Letterman. And then they replaced David Letterman with, I don't even.
I mean, that's different. That's different. It's a different beast.
Is it though?
I feel like it is. I think it's a
different. The one thing I will tell you I don't like about Survivor Australia that Jonathan does is Jonathan uses the same catchphrases that Jeff does.
He's a pretend Jeff.
And I think you should be you become your own person. I mean, Bob Barker stepped down and all of a sudden you got Drew Carey doing The Price is Right.
And it took a long time to get used to that, didn't it?
I'm sure it did, but long time is better than it's just over, right?
I mean, you can replace Jeff. It's not going to be the same. Like when I watch Drew Carey do The Price is Right, it's not the same.
I agree, especially with Drew Carey skinny.
Yeah, Drew Carey skinny's not right either. He needs to get fat again.
No. Yeah, he was much more relatable when he was fat. Because he was just like that. I think that was his whole shtick. He's supposed to be the average office worker, like, American guy who's fat guy, likes his beer, all that stuff. And all of a sudden
Kavanaugh now?
He doesn't like his beer that much. As far as I know, he doesn't like the raping of women either. Like it's just he doesn't the devil's threesome drinking games.
That was just, cool game with the guys.
Yeah, cool game with the guys that we played. There happened to be women around. They didn't play or actively participate
on purpose.
But, oh God, yeah. But no, I don't think you end it. And part of it's the selfish me that one day I'll get on.
I mean,
it is really funny
up
when
there
you watch
in the
people...
age too. Like, if you're getting on the show and you're going to have a chance to win, old people don't win this show, Jeff.
There's a guy on it who this season who makes me respect him a lot more. He's a news anchor, so he probably got a lot more clout than me. But he literally is out there going, I never expected to be able to be on this show. He's like, look at me, I'm a dude with a dad bod. Like, and he is like the average dad bod dude. And I'm like, I can do it. There's a spot. They do have people like me on this show.
What did you think of that fucking woman last season? The woman that wouldn't give up her jacket in the very end. The woman that intimidated the guy over the jacket, or the lady over the jacket. The lady, she was a Goliath, and she had the worst personality of any human being
like
ever.
A drug kingpin.
Yes, awful person.
Yes, I agree. She was an awful person. She was she was completely out for herself. There's no question about that.
And how could you be, I don't understand how people can be like her. Like, how could she not realize that no one would ever like her?
Because I think she was a quote unquote Goliath. She was successful at whatever she deemed her success was. And therefore she didn't care what these random people thought. That's how she got through life.
It's just so wild to me.
People are like that though. Who is it? The woman that just announced that she was running for president in the middle of that snowstorm.
I don't know. Was that the woman that there's that? I think the only video I've seen about this is when someone's she's in a restaurant and like people are trying to get to the condiments and she's in the way. Is that the one person you're talking about?
I don't know anything about that. I just know that directly after this video came out with her announcing her candidacy for president, and everybody was like, "That's pretty fucking badass!" Like she's out there in the middle of a snowstorm announcing her presidency to show that she's like willing to do anything. And immediately after that, all these former like staffers of hers, because she's like a congresswoman or governor. She's a governor of something, or I don't know enough about politics, but she's something or other. And a lot of her staff members came out and were basically like, this person is a terrible person. She treats her staff like shit, constantly yelling at people for no reason, belittling people. Like they basically are just calling her out as a terrible, terrible person. Look at, she's a successful person now running for president.
Huh.
I guess you don't have to be successful to run for president, but she is successful in her political career.
Right.
I mean, look at the way Donald Trump treats people. And be honest.
Yeah, but I mean, I guess I feel like if you're going to go on a show like Survivor and hope to win, you have to have some social game too, and you have to be self-aware enough to know that. I guess, to me. So
that is true. The complete loss in a game like Survivor. I'm going to the bed, by the way. In a game like Survivor, to understand that there's a social game at play is pretty messed up, and you see it season after season. People make these complete like out for themselves mentalities, and a lot of them get pretty far.
Yeah, but it blows my mind as a viewer how often they have the votes, they can get someone out, but then they're just like, well, they might have an idol. Let's never vote for them. I'm almost in the bed.
Well, and God, that's such another reason that I would love to be on the show, just to know the ins and outs of how does it really go.
Yeah.
How does it really work?
Yeah.
Like, what conversations didn't they show? What did they do that made me, as a player, look like the biggest idiot who pulled this dumbest move in the world when really, if you had watched actually what happened, it was a really smart play that just kind of, like, backfired.
Right.
You know?
Yeah, I mean, it's...
Or what play was the best play that ever was shown that really was the dumbest play that all the stars just happened to line up.
Right.
You know?
Right.
I want to know all of those things and how all that works. I also want to know, I still get baffled, the whole looking for an idol thing. And I'm not even talking about the fact that people don't look for an idol enough, but how do you get away from camp with cameras following you?
I think that it's a constant production state. I feel like what we don't see, it's constantly cameras everywhere.
And so therefore, does that make it easier to sneak away, to go look for idols? Because you can hide behind or amongst the cameramen.
I do believe that. I think you can, and they're also always pulling people. I mean, this is things I've read on Reddit. They're constantly pulling people away for interviews and that sort of thing. So you can get pulled away for an interview, and immediately after that, instead of going back to camp, go start looking for an idol, and people aren't expecting you to even come back for this amount of time.
Yeah. And I also start compiling a list of, like, if I were ever on the show, what would I do on day one? And it's like, go to the first thing you're doing is going to the well, and you're digging a trench around the well because there's probably something hidden there, like a clue to the idol or something.
I think day one you need to help build the shelter. Don't ever direct anyone how to build the shelter. But also don't wander off immediately.
Well, I don't mean from the social perspective. I mean, given the opportunity with nobody noticing. Yes, I don't. You have to play that social game and not just be a Russell Hentz immediately looking for the idol out in the open, obvious, and making everybody hate you.
One of the biggest mistakes that I see made every season is starting to be the general contractor on the building of the shelter. You never ever direct how to build that shelter. Help as much as you can and talk with everyone, and then whoever's the guy that's directing everyone to build the shelter, side-eye him the whole time and give like funny looks to everyone else, so you can become their friends and not his.
And right when it starts leaking that one time, just be like, "See, he was sabotaging."
Yeah, he's probably already gone at that point because whoever directs everyone how to build the shelter, everyone hates by the time it's done, and he's like first out.
That's true. Yeah, I am excited for next week to come, just because I want to see how this whole, because the viewers don't even know yet, effective, how this whole Edge of Extinction thing works. Because, of course, the very end of the episode is the first person getting voted out, which it always is, but then there's the choice that gets presented to that person that they didn't know that they weren't necessarily out of the game, and that's all you know. That there's something else, and we don't know what it is yet.
Well, I will not watch until the whole season's done, probably.
So my problem with that, though, is that's how I want to do it. I like to binge watch it. The problem is, I catch a stupid news article. Yeah, and it keeps
whatever your news
thing
is. I don't have that problem, but you have like this thing where it like gives you news based on what you view or something.
I don't know. It must be. I just go to Google News, and Google News will show me the headlines. And the problem is, people need to stop making headlines that give away what the fuck happened.
Yeah.
It just needs to be a headline that says like Survivor update or something like that, and then I won't read it.
Yeah,
don't
but that's
say,
not
like,
gonna get you to
what's
click.
this fuck one?
Yeah, you gotta have that clickbait.
Oh, Jesus. Or if you're gonna give me clickbait like that, make it wrong, so that I go in thinking one thing.
Right, that would actually
it was
be
something
nice.
completely different.
Yeah, I mean, there's better clickbait that just doesn't spoil. You should never put a spoiler in a title like that. That's just bullshit. It should be like, you'll never believe who actually won and shit like that. That's fine, but.
Yeah, well, sometimes it does that though, and it has a picture of the person who.
Oh,
I would believe it now because you just showed me the person's face.
When the DVDs were first released back in the day, when they actually did DVDs for the seasons.
Oh, I didn't know that they did DVDs.
Oh yeah,
I guess that makes sense back in the day, though.
Well, and they didn't do every season. Yeah, they skipped seasons and stuff. They would do like 1, 3, 5, 7. Like it was just random. I mean, I did a pattern, but pretend I didn't.
Just this inconceivable random pattern that nobody could ever figure out. 1, 3, 5, 7. Who knows what will be next?
They hated even numbers, I found. But I don't know if you should know if those were the seasons. Anyways, on the cover of the DVD was the final 5. So
what?
Yes.
What?
And the final disc had the winner on it. So
that
it's like
terrible.
It was awful. So
maybe
like
that's why they stopped DVDs.
Yeah, after the first season I watched like that, I realized that this is how this worked. So like I would like take the DVDs out like looking away and like never look at the cover, and like was all these rules for watching these DVDs the first time because I
put it upside down because I wasn't looking.
Right,
trying to grab it again.
Just covered in spoilers.
Oh, that is terrible. Remember the show? The hell was it where you could win America's Next TV host or cooking channel host?
Oh, Food Network Star?
Next Food Network Star. That's a better title, I guess, than the one that I just gave. One of the episodes, one of the seasons, during the last episode, we're watching to see who the winner is, the 3 people who made their pilot, and there was a commercial in the middle of it that was advertising the winner's show because they won the
That is
the game.
So dumb.
We were like, wait, what? What? You just told us that this guy has a show coming out because he won Food Network Stars, but we're watching the finale of Food Network Stars right now?
That is absurd.
Yeah. That was unfortunate.
Well, with that, guys, spoiler alert, I win UHC.
Yep. Spoiler alert. And I'm going to plaster Guude's face on my video. Like, just everybody knows like that he won. And we'll see if it's true or not. Are we doing clickbaity headlines? Or
You'll never believe who
You'll never believe who won. Picture of Guude's face.
Yep. Anyways, hope you enjoyed the UHC and hope you've enjoyed this episode. We'll see you next time.
See you guys.